Airgun Detectives.
Welcome to a special edition of Airgun Detectives. I'm your host, JC, and our rare and/or unusual series is going to continue. And I've got two of my absolute favorites here. I've got the Smith Wesson 78 and 79G. And we're going to go over those in details in just a minute. But if you hadn't already, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button down in the corner. Doesn't cost you anything, it's absolutely free. Really helps support the channel. Also, check out my website when you have a chance, www.airgundetectives.com. On that site, I got various t-shirts, I got hats, got my Generation 2 bipods. I got a limited number of the silhouette targets. Hopefully they're not gone by the time this is coming out. And I have my personal inventory. I'm putting a lot of personal inventory up there, and what I try to do is rotate it. So I sell some of my personal inventory, gives me the capital to get some new stuff so we can look at some new stuff. Anyway, let's get back to the subject on hand. These are the Smith & Wesson 78 and 79G. The 78 is a 22 caliber, the 79 is a 177 caliber. Anyway, both of them are CO2 pellet pistols, and they both have rifled barrels. These are considered vintage CO2 pistols. In fact, a quick story on one of these. So the 79G, I remember years ago, this was in the 70s, because these were produced from 1970 to 1978. Well, I remember in the kind of the mid-70s, I was eyeballing one of these at Gemco, where they were selling them, and I really wanted one. So I saved my money up for them, and money back then was pretty tough. And I got the 177 caliber one. Well, back then, CO2s were pretty expensive at that time. So got the thing home, shot it for like a day or two, and then I'm like, God, I really don't have any good income here. I'm just a kid. So I asked my mom, I said, you know, little Sally, way back when, could we return that gun and so I could get my money back? So I returned it and got my money back. And I'm telling you, almost every day beyond that, I regretted returning that. So then years later, when I'm obviously an adult, I came across a couple of these that are just like brand new. And of course, anyway, rebuilt them. And that's where they are today. But anyway, a little bit more on these. These are a single shot. They have fully adjustable sights on them. But they have a single shot tray. You basically drop your pellet in, you close it up, and then you cock it. You cock it by just pulling this forward. And then pull the trigger. And I'll get, at the end, I'll talk to you a little bit more how I tricked these out, but I really went through and tricked these out. And they're quite the performers, they really are. But these were designed by Smith & Wesson after their Model 41 target pistol. So this is kind of a replica of their 41 target pistol. And in 1980, by the way, Smith & Wesson sold the design to Daisy. And they came out with the 780 and the 790. Not nearly as nice. The triggers are much heavier, not as smooth, not even close to the Smith & Wesson model. So these are definitely the better models. But CO2 goes in the grip here. You just unscrew this, kind of a unique setup. You unscrew this, pop that out. You drop the CO2 in, but the butt goes in first, because what it does, it releases the CO2 inside the chamber. So you can actually leave CO2s in this. It's not going to hurt it. Then you screw it back in, and then it's got a piercing valve. You just push this little piercing valve right here on the bottom, and then it leaks the CO2 out into the cylinder. And that's it. But again, fully adjustable sights. I did put a little orange nail polish on that front sight just to make it a little bit more identifiable. Makes a big difference. But love the grips on them. Got nice contoured grips. And like I said, these ones are like in brand new condition. They really are. Anyway, let's go out. I'm going to show you guys the performance on these, because I think you're going to be quite surprised at the performance. And then keep in mind, these were developed between that 1970 and 78. So, and then I want you to think about how competitive they are in today's day and age. So anyway, let's go on. Let's show you this performance on these, and we'll come back and talk about it. So stay tuned for the next segment. All right, let's show you how the velocity goes on the 78 and 79G. We'll do the 78 first. 78 comes before 79. This is the 22 caliber. We're going to shoot these Crossman Premier hollow points. They're a 14.3 grain, so you guys can get an idea of what type of power this CO2 pistol has. So again, we're going to shoot 5 shots, just these 14.3 grain pellets. Let's see how well we do. 5 shots over the Crony. Okay, shot number 1. 492. Shot number 2. 491. Shot number 3. 483. Shot number 4. 482. And let's do one more shot. 477. Yeah, as that CO2 cools, velocity comes down a little bit. But you see the power of this thing. Pretty amazing. All right, let's show you the 177 now. All right, now we're going to test the 79G. And with this, we're just going to use the Diablo Basics. This is a 7-grain pellet. So we'll see how this does with a 7-grain pellet. Once again, 5 shots. You can see my Crony was acting up a little bit on that previous one. But we still got enough so you could gauge the velocity. So anyway, all right, shot number 1. 605. Seriously? 605? Are you kidding me? This must have got warm. That's got to come down. But it is the 177 caliber, so. All right. Shot number 2. That's an error. Crony's acting up on us a little bit. Okay, let's do this again. 590. $585. Let's do 2 more. $576. And we got one more in us. $568. Yeah, you can see the CO2 is dropping a little bit on that as it's cooling. But tremendous velocity out of these. They really are. They're pretty special. But I'll talk more about them at the end. Let's go on, move on to the next segment. We're going to test out our 78G and our 79G for accuracy. So we're just going to shoot 5 shots with each. I'm going to go ahead and use the Premier hollow points for the 22 caliber. And then for the 177, we're going to use the final match lights. Anyway, they're a 7.87 grain. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and, again, shoot 5 shots. We're from the usual CO2 distance. I'm just going to be shooting open sights. I think I've these adjusted pretty good. We're going to just shoot 5 shots. We're at our usual 10 meters, which is roughly 12 yards. So go ahead, check that distance out real quick. See what we're shooting at. Okay, so let's start with the 22 caliber. 5 shots. Let's just see how well we do. All right. Shot number 1. Shot number 2. Shot number 3. Shot number 4. And one more. Shot number 5. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself. But let's go ahead and do the 177 model now. Okay, now we're going to test the 177 one out. And again, we're going to use these final match lights. The H&Ns are 7.87 grain. So let's just shoot 5 shots. See how well this one groups. All right, shot number 1. It's right here in the lid. Shot number 2. 177s are a little smaller to deal with, but that's all right. All right. And let's see, shot number 3. I just love the accuracy of these guns. Like I said, this is open sight. Could you imagine if I set like a red dot up on this thing? And let's do one more. Okay, one more. Wow. These have it all. They really do. They got power, they got accuracy. I mean, both these, whether the 22, the 177, I mean, they're fantastic. They really are. So you see what type of grouping we got in that one as well. So looking at both of them again, pretty amazing. All right, let's move on to the next segment. Okay, just for fun, let's see what the pull weight is on these triggers. You know, I don't even know if I've tested them since I rebuilt them, so let's see what happens. We'll do the 22 caliber, the 78G first, and then we'll do the 79. Just real quick, just to get you guys an idea of what the pull weight is. Anyway, we got our trusty Lyman trigger gauge here. Let's reset that. We're good to go. All right. £1 pound, 15 ounces. So that one was 1 pound, 15 ounces. I'm just curious how close I got these, because I pretty much did the same thing. So we got 1 pound, 15 ounces for the 22. Now we're going to try the 177. Okay. We're clear, ready to go. I'm just double checking. Okay. All right, that was 2 pounds, 1 ounce. 2 pounds, 1 ounce, 1 pound, 15 ounce. Yeah, real close. That's real close. Anyway, pretty amazing triggers on those. But let's go ahead and move on to the next segment. All right, let's do a little plinking. I chose the 78G, the 22 caliber one for that, just because it hits just a little bit harder. And I got some new glasses on. These have some they're bifocals, but the magnification is up at the top, so it helps with the sights. Since I'm shooting open sights, we're going to see how well we can do. I got 5 targets set up. We're usual 10 meters, same exact distance we were shooting the accuracy test from. But I got the cart set up back there with our little plinking items. Go ahead and check that out real quick. You can see there's a shotgun shell, little piece of PVC, one of those heavy steel eggs, a little pig, and then another little empty vitamin bottle. So anyway, we're going to shoot 5 shots. I'm just going to use, once again, just the Crosman Premiers. I have to load each one of these, because this is a single shot. No big deal. But we'll start from the right side and work our way to the left. All right, shot number 1. Gotta love the power of this thing. Shot number 2. Now that little piece of PVC. Oh yeah. Man, does that thing shatter or what? All right, now that's steel egg. Let's see if we can knock that off the shelf. I think this will have the power to do that. We'll see that. Whoa, definitely knocked that off the shelf. All right. A little pig. Definitely a hit. And let's finish up that little medicine bottle at the end there. Oh yeah. Definitely got all those. Yeah, these things are so accurate. It's amazing how accurate they are. Powerful as well. All right, let's move on to the next segment and we'll wrap this up. Let's wrap this up with our conclusion on our 78 and 79 Gs. These are awesome pistols. I have to tell you, they're one of my most favorite CO2 pistols. As I was touching on in the beginning, I rebuilt both of these. Changed all the seals out, polished everything. I even I went to a lighter trigger spring and a little heavier hammer spring. And by the way, these have an adjustable power on them. The adjustable power, if you see right here, there's a screw here. All that simply does is put more tension on the hammer spring. That's all this does in the front. But what you get out of them, when that spring is cranked all the way down right now, I'm getting about 25, 30 shots out of these. Really am. But these are one of the most powerful CO2 pistols ever put together. Think about it. The 78G, we're getting close to that 500 feet per second and 8 foot-pounds of energy. And then the 79G, we were getting a little over 600 feet per second and close to that 6 foot-pounds of energy. So these are definitely, as far as CO2 pistols, probably the most powerful. They really are. And you guys saw the accuracy. The accuracy on them is tremendous. And then you have the option of the adjustable sights, which is nice. So they're adjustable for elevation and windage. Now there is no setup on these for a rail. I'm thinking about maybe adapting something and putting a red dot on it. That would be kind of nice. But right now they're just completely in original condition. And I kind of like them that way, to be honest with you. But these, again, I'm going to tell you, are one of my absolute favorites. They really are. And how would I rate these? Oh my God, they're 5 stars all the way. And you'll see, you know, occasionally you see some of these floating around, and they do sell some rebuild kits for them or what have you. But really, really trick performers. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Airgun Detectives. This is our rare and unusual series, and we're going to continue. Like I said, I have a lot of inventory. I have a lot of rare and unusual air guns, so we're just going to keep this thing going. So until next time, don't forget, this is where we take the mystery out of the air gun. So I hope you and your families are all doing well and you're getting plenty of shooting in. So take care and God bless.